Hey YouTube, Southwest252 here with another video, and this time it's a review and comparison of the Gemini 200 and NG models 1/200 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the Imua One special livery. Before I get into the review, I would just like to say I'd really appreciate it if you check out my Instagram. The link for that is in the description below. So, as always, I'll start off with the box. By the way, the one on the left was the NG models version, the one on the right is the Gemini Jets version. Just going over the Gemini 200 box, you can look at the full review of the NG models version in the description. But in the top left, you have the Gemini 200 25th anniversary logo, even though this is a 2024 release, so it's actually 26 years. You have the Southwest banner across the front of the box, the computer-generated image of this aircraft, Boeing 737 MAX 8, 1/200 scale die-cast model aircraft, and the item number for this model is G2SWA1268. Just a slight change of the box. This used to be a kind of gold color. Now it's silver. We have the Gemini 200 logo at the bottom. It's the same magnetic box flap. You've got the styrofoam, everything in there. The stands in there as well. It does come with the gear up replacements. On the left side of the box, you have the Gemini 200 logo, 1/200 scale die-cast model, the item number, CGI again. On the top, it says adult collectible model. Warning, contains small parts, unsuitable for children under 14 years of age. The right side is the same as the left side. And on the back of the box, you have the same details basically as all the other ones. The as realistic gets features that you can pause and read. And don't forget to check out the Gemini Jets social media. That's all for the box, and now for the models. So what I'll do is I'll review the Gemini Jets version, and then I'll kind of give you the comparison points between the two models. Like I said before, you can check out the full review of the NG Models 1 in the description below. And now for the Gemini Jets version. So at the front, you do have the nose cone painted on there. You do have the pitot tubes and other details as well, the cockpit windows, and it does say Imua One underneath those cockpit windows there. You have the nose gear. All the gears are rubber and do roll, and as I said, they do come with the gear up mode replacements. It does say 8710 and ETOPS on it. That's the fleet number in the front. Then you have the L1 door with the heart logo next to it. The front window blocked off, as is typical for Southwest MAX 8s. You move down the fuselage. The blue shifts into a purple and then into a red. You've got an antenna on the bottom. You've got the nice design across the entire fuselage in the black portions. You do have a beacon on top there. You have another antenna as well. You have your overwing emergency escape doors and markings on the wings. You've got your gray flat fairings and gray AT winglet. You do have the engines, the MAX engines, the chevron pattern in the back, and then here's the inside view of the engines. And then as you move towards the back of the fuselage, you've got the Wi-Fi dome on top there. It does have the white ring surrounding it. Underneath, you can see two antennas. It transitions from a red to an orange, then to a yellow. You've got another antenna at the back. You have the special Southwest tail with the American flag on it. And then at the back, you have the rear door with the registration above it, which is November 8710 Mike. And then to the left of that, you've got the fleet number, again, 8710 and ETOPS. And then you go to the right side. It's just the same with the cargo luggage doors there in the front above that antenna, and then in the back to the bottom right of the registration. So here is the front view of the Gemini Jets version. Here's the right side. Here's the back view. There's the left side. Here's the top view. And here's the bottom. So at the front, by the nose cone, it does say MAX 8. Again, there's your nose gear. All the gears are rubber and do roll. The nose gear does not turn, however. You've got an antenna underneath there. You have the Southwest Heart logo. You have a stand hole in the middle. The main gear underneath the engines and wings, Gemini Jets logo there, the 2 antennas. Then you move towards the back, you've got another small antenna. You have the tail scraper, the doors for the APU, and the APU itself all the way in the back. So now for the more comparison part. So Gemini Jets version on the right, NG Models version on the left. So I don't know how well you can tell on camera. I think you can tell slightly. It's a little bit more, you can tell a little bit more in person, but the blues are slightly different shades. The NG Models version is very slightly lighter. Then the transition to the purple and then to the red. So on the Gemini Jets one, it's very well blended. On the NG Models one, not so blended. It's more of a hard line. And the reverse was true, I believe, for the 1400 versions. The NG one actually blended better and the Gemini Jets one did not. So that's very interesting to see here. They've kind of swapped places with the quality there. So right now, Gemini Jets version is winning out a little bit. But then you move towards the center, the reds are pretty much the same. The orange, again, pretty much the same. The NG Models one does a better job blending into the yellow. But the red into the orange on the Gemini Jets one is also much better. But then the yellow is pretty much the same on both of them as well. Let me move. So now it's the Gemini Jets version on the left, NG Models version on the right. So the yellow coloring is basically identical, and then the tails, again, they're pretty much the same. The yellow on the Gemini Jets version on the tail is maybe slightly darker, and I think actually a little bit more accurate. But overall, in terms of painting, I think the Gemini Jets version does a slightly better job. So right now we have NG Models version on the right, Gemini Jets version on the left. So then here you have the slight mold differences. The NG Models version, the wing is tilted up very slightly more than the Gemini Jets version, but it's very slight, and you can really only tell when you put the winglets next to each other. But in terms of shaping of the winglets, they're both pretty accurate. As I said, the wing on the NG Models version goes slightly further up. But really, there's no quality control issues, anything else to point out with either of them, I don't think. Overall, they're very nice models. So I've already gone ahead and rated the NG Models version. You can check out the review for that one. The Gemini Jets version, the only thing I haven't mentioned yet is the gear doesn't sit perfectly in the slots to place them in. So I would say that's a very slight criticism, but not really that bad. So for the Gemini 200 version, I'll be giving a score of 28.5 out of 30. But that's really going to be it for this review and comparison. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button down below and consider subscribing to my channel if you're new. And once again, I'd really appreciate it if you check out my Instagram. The link for that is in the description below. Thanks again for watching. Bye.
We would like to point out the safety features of this Boeing 737-700 series aircraft. You're looking at the Southwest Airlines bestseller. It's a safety information card. It's in the seat pocket in front of you. It works as a fan for no extra charge. You're welcome. And it reads as a comic book. It has a lot of short stories. None of them ends well. Absolutely.